Well, hey, Gundam Maniacs, welcome to another episode of Gundam Explained. For this video, we're actually taking a look at robot spirits. It's something that I've been waiting for a while, that everyone's got except for me, and finally I got it, and now it's the RX-79G Gundam ground type. Bandai's been releasing and has a whole schedule of releases for 8th MS Team mobile suits, which is really cool, including option part sets, a lot of cool stuff. And speaking of that, I do have the option part set, so we'll take a look at that. But before we get started, if you haven't, please subscribe. And as you watch this, if it's cool, give it a like. I really like reviewing these robot spirits figures, so as we go, if you have any suggestions on how I could improve it or give more info, just let me know. But yeah, let's get started. All right, so here we go. Here is the Robot Spirits ground type Gundam. Just when it comes to the design in general, it's just really cool how we get this very utilitarian style Gundam, which takes the stylized elements we've seen and tries to ground them, hence the name Ground Gundam Notes, because a lot of the battles take place on ground. And what's some notable features about the Ground Gundam is the fact that it just looks like an RX-78-2 that's, again, a little bulkier, beefier for the ground type battles. It's also got this really distinctive, cool backpack to carry things on it. I don't know how practical that is being on the ground, but you know what? It is cool. So it's just cool that we have this and all the stuff anyway. But yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off everything and then we'll, take a closer look at the figure. All right, so here we go. Let's take a look at this without the shields, the weapons, or even the backpack. And we can kind of see how it's just got a typical cool Gundam style look to it. Now, real quick, if you are interested, here is a slightly missing or incomplete high-grade version. I had given this to my son shortly after building it, so some things are missing. I think there was a decal here, part of the leg here, of the foot, and then over on the V-fin, that red part is not the one that's for this. I don't think it is, but I was able to stick it on there, unless I just have it on wrong. But no, I don't think it was the one made for it. But what's cool is they both look similar. You could have these together in a diorama or on your shelves, and I don't think anyone would notice one looks different than the other. But there are some slight differences. A lot of it just has to do with the overall general scale of some of the geometry. It's not super big, but I mean, like, look at the difference between the vents here. That's pretty different. And then even the side or the skirt armor is a little different here. That's like a little hole that's right there, whereas right here, this kind of sticks up as a bump. Yeah, so there's just small little differences. Actually, it's interesting to note, there's like more detail in some places, like on the shoulder of the high grade. There's more detail on the top, less detail here. But if we move down, there's more detail on the robot spirits than there is on the high grade. So just a number of little things that make it different. You know, one thing I didn't like about this is I had to paint, even though I did a horrible job of that and I need to get back to it, I had to paint the little crest here, whereas I love that it's just a part of it. Some high grades have it where it's a color part separation, and they need to continue that. But anyway, other than that, I think it's cool that it looks the same. So if you wanted to actually buy more, it might be cheaper to go this route. I don't know how much it is to get the high grade Ground Gundam anymore. But yeah, with that other way, just kind of look at the articulation here. So the head moves back, looks down quite a bit. It does have this piece on the back. Okay, yeah, you can see it when you're moving it back, and then the head just comes off, which that's a different looking part there for the head, but I think it's made to do that because you can put the GM head on this. That's from another figure in the line. So the head comes off easily, but just kind of interesting. We can see that engineering of when you're going back, but you can't go back too much. I mean, but that's still a good up if it needs to look up. And it can look down. And it can look all around. So that's kind of the normal thing there. That is cool. We move down to the shoulders. And I bet we're going to see a lot of the typical stuff. I might not go into too much detail here unless something looks unique. Because a lot of this is the same from the Robot Spirits, where you get the bicep swivel, you get a ball joint in the arm, you get the double elbows. Sometimes they are more, this goes up quite a bit for the double elbow. Sometimes we even see that lateral movement elbow. This doesn't have it, though. We've seen those on, I think, the Stardust memory line. Let's see what else is here. With the waist, let's see. Now, it could be the figure, how it's designed. It doesn't go too much. I wonder if it's blocked by some of the skirt armor. It could be, but I don't want to do it too much and break it. Forward, not too much. Back, not too much. So that's weird that it's very limited around the waist area, but I don't know. Considering the poses this thing would do, I'm not too worried about that. And then we've got the front skirts side, which has the ammo that can come off. The back doesn't even move at all, and it's got the built-in adapter for a stand. I always love that. So I could see where they've been making concessions with some of the articulation, like on the back here, which is fine because I figure they just found out a way to do it where it's just unnecessary, but you can still do everything you need to. Now I'm trying to open. I'm trying to open this on the back here because this is you can kind of see that right there. Let's see, my nails. I shouldn't have got my pedicure. Let's see. There we go. Opened it up, so you can put an adapter there for a bazooka, but you can't then wear the backpack at the same time. But at least the option's there. Now with the legs, let's see. So the side skirts kind of get some restrictions, so you can't go up all the way. But I don't think you really need to. It goes front, forward quite a bit. The knee goes back quite a bit. You can get some cool poses there. And even with the stop there, this goes back as far as you need it to go. I can't really complain with that, even though it is limited. But because sometimes I think if there's too much articulation, you might automatically have it into goofy poses you don't mean to do. Now with the feet, it's got the armor here. It's got the foot doing its thing here. It does have this a couple things in here. Because not only does and I guess that might be all attached. Yeah, so look at that. That's pretty interesting. So it's all attached, but it kind of gives it a cool mechanical look to it. Yeah, so that's pretty good. So I guess, articulation, I would just give it a standard, good articulation, nothing bad. Some areas are lacking, but I don't know if you would notice it unless you're picking it apart like I am right now. But yeah, let's look at accessories, and we'll start with looking at the manual. All right, so here we go. Backpack plugs in, we'll see that. Beam saber hilt goes into the side of the calf, which is, very different for Gundams, but still very cool. Yeah, it's showing the articulation of the head. Oh, and the chest has the something standard we're seeing a lot now. It's not a whole lot, but it's enough where you can kind of see the chest goes in and out. Yeah, it's not a whole lot, but it's there. I wonder if, as they've been designing robot spirits, they design the engineering of putting them together in a way where certain articulation will always be there. Sometimes with action figures, there'll be articulation in places that just doesn't work, but a lot of it has to do with that's how they're built to be put together. So there could be a little mix of that going on here. And then it's showing its forward, which is pretty limited, showing what you could do with the legs, which is really cool. That I like the fact that you can kind of see the articulation in an instruction manual. All right, let's look at some of the other accessories here. You see the different beam saber types, the effect parts. You see the giant awesome gun and the other guns as well. You could see where this is sold separately. I think it comes either in an option part set or with Char, his Zaku 2. You get that effect piece out. Different things you could do with the gun, showing where the ammo goes, the shield that goes on there. And I kind of like how minimal the attachment piece of the shield is. Sometimes we'll get it where it comes with like 4 different connector pieces and you can easily use them. Okay, some other things. Yeah, the connector piece for the stand. You've got, where you can put thrusters in there. I always love that. It doesn't come with any, but I have plenty. All right, and then the gun. Look at this gun that you can build and take apart. Showing some other gun. But what's cool about doing that is the backpack. It has a little piece that you actually put the guns and stuff in. So then you can put it in the backpack storage and put it on, which is just a cool, neat feature that makes this unique, compared to others. All right, let's take a look at accessories. So a favorite of mine that has made a return is the hand tree. It's just nice to be able to do this. Now, there's a part in 08MS team where they have a close-up shot of the hand, and it actually looks like there's a sleeve on it, whereas we're actually seeing the individual parts. That is where the articulation is for the in-universe version. So it's interesting seeing it without the sleeve. I don't know what that is. It's something that I just don't know much about. And that actually also goes the same for this. Like if we look at the back of the Gundam leg here, in the anime, there is a different looking piece back here. Again, more sleeve-like to kind of, and not sleeves from Unicorn or Narrative, but like more of what we'd see like with the Gundam NT Alex, where they started adding like the protective layer of, what is it, like a cloth or a rubber or whatever that would be at the joints, which kind of makes sense. It's a cool design, but it's in the anime of 8th MS team, but not on the Ver anime figure. So, yeah, we just looked at the hands. Here is the backpack, and I'll open that in a second. Here is just a typical standard issue weapon that it uses. You can take off the ammo there, and then it also has this little arm rest thing, extender thingy. All right, here is the jetpack, which is really cool. It's got some basic thrusters that might just have to do with the fact that this is more of, a ground type. It's not planning to run around in the atmosphere. These are just more of bipedal tanks, as they are in 08th MS team. But you can, move this open. That's so you can fit the backpack on here. All right, and there's also this shield, and I think it's really well done because it's just got one connector piece, and then this just moves around however you want. This turns. Actually, let me just plug it in because it's really well done. It simplifies things. You can kind of choose the setting for how you want it. You can even turn it on there. Yeah, a lot of different options for how you'd want it on. Probably similar to the high grade if we were to look at that. Very similar to the high grade. It's funny just holding this in my hand. It feels like it would fall apart compared to this, but this is still a really good figure. And then also, never want to forget, we've got the two beam saber parts. We also got the curved blade for that animation, and then we got, like, I guess from a beam saber or beam rifle. They weren't really using beam weaponry until later on in the show too, so at least they have that as an option. But it has this effect part here. And that other part I wanted to discuss is pretty cool, is right here in the calf area. One, it's trying to get it to open. I did that faster than I thought I would. But in there, you can see the beam rifle. It's got some ridges, so you can kind of use your nails and get that out. There we go. And then, plug in any of the effect parts. I'd probably use this for a gun, but that plugs in. And then for the beam saber itself, and just looks great. I'm more partial to like the Mark II or the original Gundam. I love seeing the beam saber hilts that come out the back, but this is just neat anyway. We see it with different Gundams as well. Sometimes it's in the arms where the beam saber hilt is, and sometimes it could be on the side, but in this case it's in the calf, which is just a cool little thing. But yeah, that's on both sides. So I just like how that engineering works. It's very simple. All right, now we're going to take a look at the option parts that it came with. In fact, we have a little instruction manual here if we want to look at it to get some context first. For instance, it's showing the effect piece with the bazooka that it comes with, and, the different ways you can utilize it. Also, when you take off the backpack, you could put the connector piece for the bazooka. Otherwise, you can't have the backpack on. And then let's see, they have this neat, I should have looked up what it is, this like missile launcher. And I actually have one that came with like an Earth Federation option part set that I got. So yeah, now I have a couple of these, and it has a cool effect part, not only for the missile shooting out, but then for the exhaust in the back. Also, it has this alternate shield thing you can add in order to have that shot where it's stuck into the ground, shooting the giant gun to have that blowback there, which is pretty cool. And then, you know, once I get the Zaku, which I might test it. I don't know if it will work on a current one. I notice anytime there's a removable head, arm, waist, etc. We've seen that with some 0083 Veranime figures. They have specific joints used purposely for adding another part on. So I might not be able to do this with the other Zakus. I'm waiting for that Zaku JC type to come in. And then with this gun, there is a effect part. It looks cool. So yeah, let's look at those. All right, here is that missile launcher and that exhaust that it has, and the little yeah, these things come off very easily. That was an issue with the other one I have for the Earth Federation set. But yeah, there's the little handle for the hand, and then you could take off these parts here so that you can have an easily losable piece. So I just keep it in a plastic bag for now so I don't lose it. You know, I just realized the detail, how it has the little red, almost like the laser. That's pretty cool. It's not on the bottom one, but might not need to be there. That's just a cool detail I just noticed. But, you know, along with this is just some more, I love effect parts. I always do. It just adds more to when you're posing them, if you want to, like, make them do something. And look at that. That just looks great. You know, not that I would want to mess with this, but there is potential for drilling small holes to put LEDs inside the smoke. I don't know if I would do this because of the cost of these, but I kind of like that that's possible. Although with this, we have a hole all the way to the top, so you could probably do something. Even though it's just supposed to be smoke, you could put some light in it. I think that would look cool. But yeah, this is just cool to have an effect part of this, of smoke. When I have my robot spirits just kind of scattered around my office, I will take random effect pieces of like smoke or fire, a lot of stuff that came with the NT Alex, and I will just have them set up because it just looks good with the effect parts. Now, here is that connector piece for the bazooka, and here is that bazooka. We see a lot with the movable handle. That helps so it can get a good position on the shoulder, perhaps. And also with the shoulder piece here, it actually moves, which is pretty neat. So you can really fine-tune it and get that pose you want. And then here's a little magazine that comes out, and I'm just noticing the detail in here. I mean, it looks like individual little missiles in there, but I mean, I don't think they are, right? Yeah, they can't be, but it looks like it. That's very well done. There's a lot of detail I've been seeing with this 8th MS team. Oh, you know what? I forgot about what's in the backpack. We'll get into that in a second. Let me finish this up real quick, because then there's this effect part with the missile, with the bazooka. That looks good. There's that part that goes into the arm socket of the Zaku JC type. And then, you know, oh, I forgot about this with this is not from the option part, but from the normal accessories. You always need an extra V-fin. You never know. All right, and then one of the coolest things is this, that, you know, you take the shield, you put this on instead of that, and then you can have it in the ground to recreate that shot from the opening. Now, I wanted to show off this, but it means I have to show off this. Opening this up, now you can see where all the stuff is. I mean, you can put the gun, the standard gun, where did I even put that? Right here. You can actually take this apart and fit it in here and then close it, which is nice. I love it when an action figure, reminds me of old school G.I. Joes, had the backpack where you can like fit things on, and so they can hold it all in place. But yeah, let's take this out and get the gun out. Now, I might need to practice taking it out, taking this little tray out, because I had trouble doing it, and I was like taking pieces out at a time, but it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Now, let's see if I can build this back again from scratch. Okay, and there we go. There is that giant gun it comes with. Very cool looking. You could take that effect part, stick it in there. That looks great. Another thing I want to bring up is this. If you pull out the little shiny cardboard that comes out in the back, you'll see these markings. And I believe that's all there is. There wasn't anything in the... I didn't see anything in the manual for it, I don't think. But this is what designates Shiro's mobile suit compared to the others. And this is awesome. All right, so and to do some comparisons, yeah, here's the ground anime, version anime, right? That's specific. And here's the GPO1, also version anime, which, man, just this GPO1, this is just such a good figure and Gundam design. I had it in a crazy pose. So let me see if I can stand it up correctly. Interesting, it's a little taller. You know, I might need to adjust this. All right, so ground Gundam, we got the GPO1. Here is the Alex, another Ver anime from 0080. And then we have the Granddaddy Gundam here, another Ver anime. So if we were to look at that side by side to kind of get a look, you know, one thing to note is very interesting, the difference of the whites, the slight gray tone that we have in some of it, almost like a slight yellowing in this, not really the yellow, just kind of a duller kind of white that's going on there. And this one, the Alex is like a super bright white. But yeah, these are all the Ver anime, so you can kind of see how they stick with the style that we're seeing from the animation. Other than that, if there's any other comparisons you'd like to see, I can definitely shoot photos side by side with other things I can post on Discord. But yeah, I think it's kind of cool to see the difference between these. Well, there we have it. That's the ground type Gundam from 08MS team that we've got in Robot Spirits form. Can't wait to get the rest of the lineup. But let me know what you think in the comments or on the Discord. Is there any other information you'd like from it that I haven't shown off? Any other comparisons I can make? Or any suggestions on how I do this? But thanks for watching. Give it a like if it was cool. And yeah, we'll talk later. See ya.